I'm with Terrell, and it's the after race. How do we feel about it?
Some people had fun.
What's up? It's Juice Beats, back again with another race video. And this time we're down in the good old Anniston, Alabama for the sunnyking Criterium. Now, sunnyking is basically the first big race of the year for the USA Crit Series. And let me tell you, it does not pull punches. The course, yeah, it's got some personality. The main feature is a steady 2 to 3% incline going into the start-finish straight. And when I say steady, I mean you're going to be matching power like you're swiping on Tinder, just rapid-fire matches back to back. As if that wasn't enough, the wind was doing the most, straight up blowing from right to left like Mother Nature was trying to push us off the course. No free rides today. We had about 70 people in this peloton. This is the Cat 2-3 race with all kinds of teams repping. My squad, Grind City Racing, we had 4 strong, including myself. Shout out to the crew. You'll see them in this video here. But the college teams, they were out for blood in this one, and you will see that here shortly. The kids are in the middle to end of their season. I think they're at their end of their season. Their legs on fire, VO2 max for days, and here we are just getting our engines warm at the beginning of this season. So these kids are just absolutely monsters. Oh, and did I mention it was 85 degrees on this day? This is the first hot day that I've been outside like in this kind of weather, so not yet heat acclimated. Basically, my body was like, excuse me, halfway through the warm-up. So definitely a scorcher out there for us. So yeah, it was definitely, we definitely had our work cut out for us. My goal was simple, finish the race and try to stay within the first 10 wheels up front. It's easier said than done when this field is stacked thicker than a grandma's lasagna. Now here's the kicker. My power meter, totally on the fritz, couldn't calibrate it before the race. Turns out the left crank is basically toast. New battery, tried it, hard reset, tried that too. Might as well tape a potato to my crank and hope for the best. So yeah, heading into the sunnyking, I'm hot, underpowered, and trying to get steamrolled by a bunch of 19-year-olds with carbon everything. Let's see how this goes. Stats for this race, 45-minute race. I think the field averaged 26 miles an hour. And like I said, my power meter was on the fritz, so I don't know if these numbers are correct, but it says I averaged 304 watts with a 1452 watt max. I don't know if that's right. And a 361 watt normalized power. Also don't know if that's right. So yeah, with it being on the fritz, it's kind of hard to tell, but one thing I do know is that my heart rate was up through this entire race that I was in here. So going through the start-finish straight up into the first turn, super easy. I think the second turn is super easy. It's this third turn right here that gets a little crazy throughout the race, and I did have to scrub a lot of speed down throughout the race when I was coming down this way. Just seemed to bunch up a lot right there. And then also on this fourth turn, just in this race, it seemed to, people like to take the same lines in or cut you off or whatever. So really, yeah, the first 2 turns, not a problem. The last 2 turns were a little bit dicey at times during this race. This is the first time going up, and I think I'm already feeling it. And like I said, I don't know if my wattage is correct on here or not. I remember from last year, I was probably around 800 to 900 watts every time that I went up this way. So could be correct, could not be, but yeah. Very tough to tell. And like I said, these 2 turns right here, not too bad at all. Wanted to stay up towards the front. Easier said than done, like I said, but this was a super hot race from the beginning. Everybody was on the go already, and you can see I'm trying to move up on this downhill a little bit here. If you saw that flag, you saw how bad the wind was blowing, and I definitely had a problem with the wind last year. that one was more of a headwind going down this way, so a little bit different wind direction this time. This one we're getting a cross headwind basically. So what that means, I guess, is you got to try to find shelter within the peloton and try to get on certain points. So you'll see right here going up this way, I'm trying to stay towards the left a little bit more in the peloton, because that's where the shelter's going to be, and that's where I'm going to be kind of sheltered from the wind a little bit. So I'm trying to go over to the left. Everybody else is kind of having that same attitude as well. You can see a lot of people over there on the left already trying to shelter themselves as well. And that's the best thing you can do when it's super windy like this. Obviously you can't do anything about Mother Nature, but when the wind is blowing like that, you got to find shelter within the peloton. It just helps you save watts and you know, efficient throughout the race. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a little bit more efficient during this race if I can, save the wattage, because I know I'm going to be burning matches every time I go up that hill. It is definitely tougher than it looks. When I saw this race a few years ago and I said, you know, I want to go do this race, it looks fun, it looks awesome, I was not thinking about watts per kilogram or anything like that. I wasn't thinking about how, you know, how much bigger I am than the rest of the field and how much of a toll it's going to take on me going up that little hill. I say little. Yeah, that 2 to 3% incline, you're like, oh yeah, 2 to 3%, no problem. But when you're at race speed and you're going as fast as we are in this peloton, it's definitely a tough one. And so here we go. This is what I was talking about being dicey going into this corner. This guy kind of cuts me off a little bit. I have to scrub my speed, hit the brakes a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but I kind of squealed a little bit on the brakes. Not sure. He kind of took that turn a little, I don't know, like the angle was just weird. So almost took me out there. Had to scrub speed, brakes, and then start back on the power. So that's, you know, that for me, watts per kilogram wise, it's going to take a lot of extra effort that I didn't want to have to do going into that. I'd like to take that fourth turn, no brakes, going up the hill and use that momentum to help propel me to go up the hill a little bit faster. So, you know, that's a match burned right there for me on that. And like I said, it's easier said than done to move up. Like we're moving pretty fast. Some of my friends actually texted me after the race, and yeah, shout out to Charles who did 2 races on this day. He told me y'all's race was hot, and he said that was definitely a fast one, and it definitely was. Like you could see, I mean, obviously we're coasting down this back hill, but really the speed going up the start-finish straight was the big difference. I mean, those guys on the front were absolutely pounding it and making this race extremely difficult. Super strung out at this point in the race. We are 4 laps in. This is, I will go ahead and just tell you, I mean, this is going to be a short video for me. Didn't quite make it to the end, so sorry about that. Spoiler alert, but yeah, you could see what happens here. I'm hanging in there at the moment. Like I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to stay on the wheels. I'm trying to do all the things, you know, staying sheltered over here on the left. You know, I'm doing all the things that I need to be doing. But you can see my heart rate is creeping up. We're at 176 at this point. It's super hot outside, like I said, and you know, obviously the heat is going to elevate your heart rate as well when you're in a race like this. And then, you know, speed-wise, when it's this hot and this spicy into a race like this, yeah, all the combinations, all the excuses. You know, I'm making all these excuses, and I hate doing that or whatever. But yeah, a combination of all those things together with this, you know, tough course, it just, yeah, everything went wrong on this day for us. Let's see. I'm kind of falling back a little bit here, and usually I'll do this just a little bit going into a turn like that. I want to get a little bit of separation so that I can take the turn with a little bit more speed. But I still ended up having to kind of scrub down. The guy kind of got in the way of my line, I think, a little bit, and I still ended up having to scrub down. So now I'm having to play catch up going up this hill again. And I think I'm doing a pretty decent job. Like I said, those watts down at the bottom are not quite accurate. I think I'm doing more like 900, maybe even more going up this hill here. So just maybe add a few hundred to the numbers there, because I'm definitely not in the 100-watt range here either. There's my teammate Derek. So we're already kind of dying at this point in the race. Heart rate's at 177. I think my max heart rate is like 180, 181, 180 to 183, somewhere around there. I don't actually know at this point, because the last time that I've been over 180 was super hot in Nashville, and I think it's been like a year or two, so haven't been quite that high in a while. But yeah, I mean, we're creeping up there, and you can see I'm already kind of falling back. You see the motor in the back. That's not a good sign either. When all that's back there is the motorcycle and you're dangling off the back like this here. But coming down into that third corner, I keep my speed, so I'm able to get back on the back here. And let's see, can Derek help me stay with the peloton here at this point? Just ahead of Derek is Matt Manley on the Mustangs. You guys have probably seen him in some of my other videos. There goes Derek. And I said, come on, baby, let's go. And I think he was done at that point. But yeah, Matt Manley's right there, just front in the red white kit right there. And then just a few bike lengths in front of him is Terrell. That's my other teammate. Grant is close to the front, so I will say that at least we have one teammate who is doing what we're supposed to be doing in this race. So Grant is hanging on close to the front. I think he gets to the front a few times in this race as well. So he is doing an excellent job. And I know he has video footage because he had the 360 camera hooked onto his bike for the race. So I'm hoping maybe I can get a hold of his footage and do some things with it as well. But yeah, I'm I was really disappointed in going down there, staying overnight on Friday, getting up and getting prepared for this race, getting all warmed up and everything, and then thinking in my head, okay, I'm gonna be in the top 10 wheels, I'm gonna stick in this thing, and then here I am dangling off the back, riding behind everybody, trying to get myself back on, heart rate all the way through the roof, and yeah, basically not in the race at all. So it kind of sucks, you spend all the money to get a hotel, go, drive 3.5 hours or whatever to the race, and then you show up like this. But you can see the big gap there to the peloton. It's growing and growing and growing. And like somebody said in my comments on one of my last videos, it's that's the worst feeling in the world when you're doing your best to try to get back up to the peloton and it just keeps moving away from you. And here you can see, I think I think I conceded. I was like, I'm done. I can't do much more out here. So I'm just riding with the rest of the guys that got dropped here. A lot of guys got dropped in this race, I would tell you. So like I said, we started off with about 70, and I think only about 30 or so, yeah, just over 30 made it to the very end of the race. So that'll tell you something that, this was very tough. And even some really, really strong guys that, I've personally raced against in other races who I know are super strong, kind of fell off in this race as well. So I mean, to say this race is tough is almost an understatement at this point. Like this is like, if you finish this race, you are doing something. So you know, obviously I feel terrible about, you know, my performance in this one. I'm already off the back, and you can see, I mean, it says, you know, under 2,500 meters at the top there. That's my race. That's what's left for me. So that was the end of my race already. We're, you know, less than 12 minutes or whatever into the race, and I've already basically fell off the back. I mean, just an absolute firecracker of a race here. And yeah, like I said, I mean, I feel terrible about going down here, and this is, you know, my showing or whatever, but there was nothing I could do about it at this point. Like, I know I'm in shape, I know I'm strong, but I'm just not that strong yet, I guess.
What are we doing? What is going on? Shit. Holy crap. Fuck. Oh, shit.
I'm gonna tell you.
When I was 300 watts, 14 minutes in average.
I'm gonna tell you. We had a plan, but then we got punched in the mouth, and none of us responded.
No, not at all.
Fucking me and Glasses are just having a bad.
It wasn't that we didn't respond; it was we couldn't respond.
No, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean.
He's got it there. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, Grant! Grant!
If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Hit that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. And yo, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.